Welcome to another edition of Stupid Things People Get Mad About. But sure enough, here we are once again. So this has actually been a thing for a minute, but I was just watching it and I've been waiting to talk about it. It's like, well, I'll make this video now. We've had a lot of Star Wars content. Let's take a break. It's Christmas Eve. We'll talk about something else. And it's very amusing to me. So this came out like December 4th is when this started, and people are still going on about it, by the way. What are they going on about? Well, you have this bike company called Peloton. They make these exercise bikes, and as you can see, they are quite expensive. You have them going up to $2,000 plus, like this one right here, Peloton stationary exercise bike. $2,000 plus. That's a lot of money. It's a very high-end exercise bike that I would say, you know, the average person is probably not going to want to spend that money on an exercise bike. They'd probably go down here to like the Nordic track or something. Hell, you can get this one for $129. You got one right here for $155. So they're not that expensive, but you want to get the top end, the BMW, the Aston Martin of exercise bikes. Well, you get a Peloton. They have all kinds of stuff built into them, like, you know, streaming stuff, like coaches that you can order on video. It's really high end. Got all the bells and whistles. Really, like, what kind of controversy can that cause, right? Well, sure enough, where there's a will, there's a way. People will find a way to get upset. So they made this really cringy ass commercial. I'm not going to play it because it has music in it that I'm sure would get hit with copyright. But I'll give you the rundown. This guy gives his wife a gift, and that gift is a Peloton, and she's all excited. Oh my God, it's this exercise bike. It's so great. So she's like, okay, here we go. I'm going to video log my entire journey with this bike. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to give my husband a clip show of me exercising with the bike. And it's really cheesy and kind of stupid. It's a terrible commercial, to be honest. Absolutely boring, cringy as hell. Like, why would you video blog that and make this? You just sit around and watch this crap. It's dumb. But why are people upset about this, right? What's the reason that people are upset about this? Well, it should be obvious just from this screen cap. It's obviously sexist because the husband is giving his skinny wife an exercise bike.
How dare you?
As you can see, the blue check mark here. Nothing says maybe you should lose a few pounds like gifting your already rail-thin life partner a Peloton. Absolutely 100% chance that the husband in the Peloton ad is abusive. Nothing has made me less likely to get a Peloton than this commercial that shows this woman video journaling her first year owning a Peloton and putting the clips together as a gift for her husband. That's the gift. A montage of her using the Peloton. I don't like it. Now, that one's actually just talking about how cringy the commercial is. But a lot of these tweets are going after the bike company because of the guy giving his wife a Peloton. Now, here's the thing. These people are older. They're not, you know, in their young 20s. Okay? This is the thing. This is the thing when you get to, you know, your middle ages and stuff. You have to exercise, or you'll just get unhealthy and you'll probably die because, well, you know, there's no out of shape old people. So if you wanna live a long life, you kind of need to get your ass into a gym or on an exercise bike, and you need to exercise. Now the problem is people don't understand that. It's like, well, she's already thin. She's already thin. She doesn't need a Peloton. What she does is she's getting older, so she needs to exercise. It's very important to do. But of course, in this world, you know, in this new SocJust world, You don't need to exercise that. You can just live long without exercise. If you even suggest that you might pass away from that exercising, well, you're a bigot.
What a story, Mark.
Because, suggesting that you need to exercise to live, well, that's of course problematic. We can't have that. So that whole angle of the commercial was lost on people completely. It just shows you how dumb people are. They're just looking for reasons to get butthurt about the stupidest stuff. Like, oh my God, who cares? It's a cringy commercial anyway. But of course, like I said, you can't get a woman an exercise bike. How dare you? Are you trying to have the male gaze, sir? You can't have the male gaze, sir. You must turn that off, even with your wife. So here's the funny story. The stock price, a little bit after that happened, I don't remember exactly the date that commercial came out, but nonetheless, their stocks were going up. And they've recently went down a little bit. They're down to $29.22. Their high point was $36, and that was December 2nd. The backlash had very little to do with the stock going up and then down again. They actually had a guy come out and said, you need to get rid of it. It's going to go down to $5, which caused some people to sell it. And of course, when you have bad news like that, the stock can get affected and go down. Now, the thing I wanted to point out, though, is that the backlash from woke Twitter had nothing to do with the stock going up or down. It just shows you, once again, proof that these people can't actually affect anything if you just ignore them, which Peloton did do. They actually came out and said, hey, they're not getting the point of what we were trying to say, that, people need to exercise. But, of course, people don't care. They're going to say, oh, how dare you try to tell that woman to live longer? How dare you want her around? So it's just, it's stupid. But I got a real kick out of this. I've been watching this and thought I'd finally make a video on it. The backlash, people are still talking about this stupid commercial. It's a terrible commercial. Terrible commercial. I'll link this in the description if you want to watch it. It's just cringy. I think that bitching about that commercial would be the last thing that I would think of, other than making fun of how cringy it was. But these people, you can't make them happy. They're always going to be upset. Never bend the knee to them, and they didn't bend the knee to them, and I liked that. So hopefully, they'll get their bike brand up there. Probably not for me, considering I don't want to spend $2,000 on an exercise bike, but, nonetheless. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Make sure you're still subscribed, by the way. Also, make sure you consider leaving a comment and hitting that like button, because that's what really helps push a video in the algorithm. So I would appreciate some interaction if you would, please. Anyway, that is pretty much it. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one. And because it's almost Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'll see you. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.